Game 1 of a new era of Huskies football. A new era provides a bit of unknown, but a lot of hope. Of course, we all know there is no preseason this year in college football, and these games against teams like Weber State, no offense, are a way to tune up and gear up for conference play. And well, that's exactly what the Washington Huskies did. The beginning of the game felt shaky, and it felt like we were catching a groove right around halftime. The Jedd Fisch era is off to a expected good start after beating Weber State 35-3. The Huskies did all that was asked of them, but there were some things that we can take away from a game like this. Let's discuss some key things and key stats in the Huskies' first game in the Jedd Fisch era. Welcome on in to Seattle ONTAP. My name is George ONTAP. Let's talk a little bit about the Washington Huskies. They took care of business that needed to be taken care of against Weber State, plain and simple. There's nothing more you can really say about that. These are the type of games where you want to go in. The only concern is two things. You don't play well and you lose and you get upset by a team like Weber State. Think of Appalachian State versus Michigan. There's a lot of times this happened. North Dakota State almost, took out Colorado. Or the second thing is injury to a really, really big player, or any injuries in general. Those are the two things you're concerned about during these games. And you want to also get reps, right? Because this is the beginning of a season. This is a time where people haven't really got reps. There's no preseason, as I mentioned, always in college football. So this is the preseason in a kind of constructed way. The Huskies play Weber State to start off the season. They're supposed to win. They're supposed to get hot. You're supposed to get reps. You're supposed to see what you can provide, especially with a new head coach. We had no idea what we were going to see when this team came out on the field, and well, we saw it. So let's talk about some key points here. We're going to start off with the number one key point, and I think it's pretty simple. Anyone who's a Washington Husky fan would probably know what that is. Jonah Coleman, to transfer from Arizona, the running back, looks absolutely amazing. He looks like a stud. He looks like he is going to be one of the more fun running backs to watch in a long time at Montlake. He's he's like 5'9", 230 bowling ball. Hard to tackle, drags people, runs with conviction. Everything, man, I just love Jonah Coleman. Of course, it's a Weber State. These stats I'm about to give you about Jonah Coleman are probably not going to be the same stats he has against a team like Michigan. I mean, a team like Ohio State, it'd be very hard to put up these stats. But overall, Jonah Coleman went 16 carries, 127 yards. That's good for 7.9 yards per carry, and added 3 touchdowns. He also caught the ball twice for 19 yards. Overall, just a monster. He looked like the best player on the field for the Huskies, and I think he is the best player on the field for the Huskies. He's a generational running back. He's going to join, in my opinion, the long list of Huskies running backs. There's been quarterbacks too that have made the NFL. So Jonah Coleman, great game, great showing. Everything about Jonah Coleman was just fantastic in that game. Really excited to see what he does here for the rest of the season. Next thing I want to take away from this game is our 1-2 punch at wide receiver. Giles Jackson, 10 catches, 98 yards. Even more impressive, on 10 targets. He seems like he is him and, of course, Denzel Boston. We had 6 catches, 76 yards, and a touchdown. Are the two main guys that the Huskies are going to try to always involve in the pass game. We have a clear 1-2 punch. Like last year, I don't think I would say we had a great wide receiver core last year. Let's not forget, but all of them went to the NFL. But I felt like it was more of a 1-2-3 punch. This year feels like a 1-2 punch. Now, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to stay like that. 6 different Washington Huskies actually ended up catching balls, but Giles Jackson and Denzel Boston from the wide receivers, those are the ones that were being targeted. Our third leading receiver was Cameron Davis, and he's a running back. And in general, you kind of could see there was a big emphasis on getting those two the ball, and it felt like a very pro-style offense. You got those 2 wide receivers. They're going to be your main guys, your running back and your quarterback. Like, it just felt like a pro-style offense in Montlake. Let's talk about Rogers. Will Rogers, he looked effective. He didn't look spectacular, and that's fine. Look, here's the thing with Will Rogers. It was his first game at Husky Stadium, obviously. He started off the game a little bit slow. But if you take a look at the stats, they're really not bad. I mean, what would you want him to do again? I mean, he could have been Jonah Coleman and threw for 4 touchdowns instead of giving Coleman the touchdowns. And then all of a sudden we're raving about Will Rogers' first game at Montlake. He finished up 20 for 26, 250 yards, 9.6 yards average, 1 touchdown, only a QBR of 35.8. One thing, he probably should have had a pick. He made a mistake. I think it was second quarter, and it was dropped, but that's okay. Overall, he played a pretty good game. I'm trying to see if there's anything there. Nothing really. He just played a solid game. I think Will Rogers is going to be a very solid quarterback for the Huskies, plain and simple. I also did want to mention that Demond Williams Jr., and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. We're going to have to be pronouncing his name a lot more in the near future. Came in, freshman, looked good right away, led us on a 70-something yard touchdown drive and a touchdown. Of course, it was in a blowout, and it was against Weber State, but nice to see the freshman get in there. He's probably the future starting quarterback of the program, probably maybe starting next season, and then hopefully he can have a long career at Montlake. And then Adam Muhammad came in, had 2 carries, 39 yards, also a true freshman. He had a 32-yard run, which was nice to see that explosiveness from Adam Muhammad. Just great all around. We saw a lot of people come in, contribute. Fantastic game for the Huskies. And the last thing I wanted to kind of mention here was the run defense was a bit shaky at the beginning of the game, but good enough. And the pass defense was really, really, really good, actually. The pass defense was amazing. I want to just see let's see here. The Wildcats completed 34%, 11 of 32 on their passes for 98 yards. And with 5 of those completions and 49 yards of those coming in the fourth quarter against UW's second teamers. So there was rarely any separation. They really couldn't throw the ball. They couldn't really move the ball. I mean, it would have been a surprise other than at the end of a game to get a touchdown. The first 2 drives, I think they both got into Washington Huskies territory using the run game. And I think just in general, the run game for Weber State was a little bit concerning at the beginning. It came off to a slow start, but at the end, they were able to kind of get in that rhythm and actually have good. Let's see if there's any notable injuries. And yes, there was. I would like to mention Quinton Moore, our starting tight end, or star tight end, either way, kind of got a little bit of a scary knee injury. He had to be helped off the field into the medical tent. Helmet right to the knee. Never looks good. Hopefully he's okay. Well, we'll probably have more about that, but you never want to see a guy go down, especially in the first game of the season or any game, really. God, man, you just feel bad for him that he had to get hurt like that. Next week, let's just look forward to next week here. Big Ten Network again, so hopefully they can figure out some stuff with Comcast by then. I got YouTube TV, so I'm able to watch it. But a lot of people I know are not able to watch the Huskies right now because of the Comcast, Xfinity, whatever the company's called, in Big Ten Network standoff. But we got Eastern Michigan at home, another game that you just hope you come in and you take advantage of it. Eastern Michigan's coming off a 28-14 win against UMass, who I didn't even know had a football program. But look, Eastern Michigan is in the MAC. The MAC is not a horrible conference by any mean. I think they'll probably prove to be a little bit better team than Weber State, but it shouldn't be anything of complete concern for the Huskies. Should go out there and just win that football game and go to 2-0, heading into the Apple Cup and then right into Big Ten play. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you want the whole season prediction preview, I pinned it here at the end of the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. My name is George ONTAP. You can follow me everywhere at George ONTAP. You can see all our links also in the description below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.